it's Michelle with Southern Shell Creates, and I am here with you because I'm taking a break between downsizing things in the garage and as I'm packing. So I wanted to share with you what I do in my downtime, and this is just a beehive that I made for my daughter. Her birthday is coming up on June 3rd, and we're also having the gender reveal party that weekend, and so we've just got a lot going on. And so she's actually away at college. I will be taking her back to her dorm. She's going to be away this summer doing research, and she is a math major with a minor in sustainability. And so she is all about the environment and finding sustainable this and biodegradable that, and you know, I try to understand a lot and just to try to give her items that I know that she's going to enjoy, that her heart is into. And so this beehive, she is so into bees right now, and I just wanted to create something for her that's small enough for her dorm, but that is definitely her style. So this is just the hive, and now I'm going to be making something similar, but something she can put like pencils or scissors or something like that in. So let's get started. I have an old ribbon reel here, an old ribbon roll here that I've saved, and I'm going to cover this up on the bottom eventually. But I had purchased this sisal twisted rope from Walmart, which is what I used on the beehive, and then I come in and I do a little burn on it to get a lot of these stray rope pieces off, but it also gives it more dimension and texture as it has a little burn to that rope. But you just have to be very careful when you do something like that. But let's get started on this, and I'll show you how I've done her gift. And find the center of the rope. There it is. Okay. So I have my hot glue gun on, and what I did to the inside of the hive, once it was all hot glued together, I used Mod Podge so that it would actually hold on the inside as well. I put a good coat of Mod Podge on the inside of that because I only did some hot glue on different spots all the way up, so there wouldn't be a ton of hot glue on the beehive. So with this one, I'm going to go ahead and start. I have a dab of hot glue on the end of it where I've actually cut it off. I'm going to go ahead and start, and I left that cover on the bottom so that our pencils won't go through, but I will be covering the small hole as well. So with the hot glue gun, I turned it off. Well, let's give it a minute to heat up. Let's see how long it's been off. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll give it a minute to heat up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this, and I'm going to work my whole way around with the hot glue, and I'm going to do 2 rows of the rope stacking on top of each other. And then I'm going to go in just a little bit so she has enough room to stick pencils and pens into. I don't want it to be narrow. We need her to be able to stick items on the inside of that. So let me start with a bigger lid. Let me think. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this coaster to give me a base, so I know right where I'm going to have the bottom of the beehive for the pencil holder. So right now I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue right on the top of the rope on this side, so that when I bring this around, I have something for that rope to grab onto. And I want it nice and snug. And then I'm going to just kind of continue around the outside, so I don't have anything grabbed onto the coaster itself, because I don't want the coaster to be attached to the rope. I'm just going to bring it on around, and the whole bottom row is going to be glued with the hot glue. And as I said before, I use Gorilla hot glue. Dollar Tree does have hot glue sticks. I do, however, seem to have better results with the Gorilla hot glue for longevity of your projects, of my projects. I just do really, I would recommend the Gorilla hot glue sticks. Alright, so I now have 2 rows around the bottom of this coaster. And I didn't put enough hot glue on that piece right there. I was running out. I'll go ahead and put another stick on. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to start bringing it in. Continue to go around with this hot glue, just kind of leaning to the inside. I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys on down so you have a better view. Okay. So I'm going to take the hot glue and right around the edges. Put enough on there to grab the rope and just kind of roll it to this inside a little bit. You can see it's now starting that taper. Rolling it on around, pushing it just to the inside. And you can see the taper starting. Now this project does take quite a bit of rope, and it does take quite a bit of hot glue sticks. So, you know, be prepared as you're getting started that you are going to use quite a bit. But I will tell you, this bundle of rope that I got at Walmart was, I think, like $5. And it is, how many feet? 100 feet. 100 feet. Now, the rope, the nautical rope, if you can find it at Dollar Tree, is 9 feet for $1. So, you know, it's about the same, I would think. You know, 20, 40, 60, 81. So that's like picking up 5 rolls of rope at the Dollar Tree, if my math is right. I tell you, like I said, I've been working in the garage in the heat, so it's hard telling. I may be doing something totally off the wall here. So I'm just going to continue around. So this video won't go up until after Miss Megan's birthday, because of course I don't want her seeing it. I'm really bad about getting gifts or making gifts, and I just can't wait, and I want to give it to them now, and then when the time comes I feel like I have to have something to give them, so I do something else. So I'm really trying, I'm really working on that. So before I get too much further, I'm gonna push out the coaster. And I want to make sure that the opening is going to be about the size of that ribbon, that used up ribbon spool. That should give her a nice opening for anything that she would like to stick in to this container. See if we can build it up a little bit. Now hives are not, they are not perfect. They're very beautiful to look at, but they are not, you know, the perfect cone. One of the things that Megan said she'd love to be able to do once she graduates is actually have some beehives, which I think is very awesome. Oh my goodness, I don't believe I've been in frame this whole time. Hi. Alright. Well, let's hope for the best. I'm bringing it around, building it up, holding that rope in place long enough for that hot glue to solidify and cool. Woo! Hot stuff. Careful what you're doing there. Wowzers. That one's gonna leave a mark. Good for me to use my good ones. Alright, along the outside edge, continuing to build up the mouth. Cut it at an edge, so as it wraps around, it will very gently go into place without a big piece of rope. being cut off there. Okay. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to look at some areas that may need a little bit of assistance. And through here. I'll hold that down. Let's start it on the centerpiece. That's what I need. Okay. Fold it to the center. And we're going to roll it. And roll it. I'm going to glue. And we're going to roll. Just as tight as we can without burning yourself. And roll it on that line of glue. Roll and hold. Okay. Another line of glue. Roll it. Roll it. I know I need it that big. So I know I'm not there yet, but I know I have a good diagram. Got the hot glue. Roll and hold. And be careful. Glue is so hot. Rolling. Okay. Ooh, we're almost there. Okay. Oh, I think that's really good. Okay, so let's turn that right side upside down. Let's do one more wrap. Okay, let's get this hot glued on. That right there. That right there. Flip that on over. I'm just doing this to make sure that the hot glue does not grab onto my paper below. And there's our bottom. Look at that. Ah, awesome. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to go through and look to kind of see where maybe a little help is needed. It's like I did on the sides. So I'm just going to take, you can see, and it burns right off. I know it does freak me out a little bit. See the different tones, colors. It's giving the beehive. All natural. And it doesn't stay lit. I guess, you know, everything is made as flame retardant now. It grabs those little fibers. Now I'm sure that if, you know, you're not careful with it, it would definitely catch fire and go on up. So, you know, be careful what glue you would use. I have no doubt that if you used a glue that was highly flammable, like your E6000 or some of your super glues, it would definitely be a different story. But because I used hot glue here, all this is doing is maybe melting some of that hot glue. See those little, I really like the way that turned out. Okay. So now what I want to do, the one that I made her earlier, of course I had the little spot, little doorway for the bees to go in. What I think I'm going to do here is just have the bee entering in this particular area, so that this is the hole. So this is the hole to the beehive. So instead of making the little hole over here, I'm going to have this actually be the hole going into the beehive. So what I'm going to do now is just take some hot glue, and a lot of hot glue, and I'm just going to put it up here and down here, and I'm just going to let it flow where it wants to. And that is going to give us the look of honey dripping. It's just oozing down this beehive. Alright, let's get this painted real quick. I have a couple different yellows, and I'm just going to use these different ones. This is Craft Smart, and it is a light yellow, and then it is a bright yellow. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of each of these out onto this. It can be on my craft mat too. I mean, my table, I've got it covered, so it's really no big deal. So I'm going to come in with the bright And I'm just going to load it up, and load it up, and load it up. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today on this journey of putting together this pencil or desk tool holder for my daughter to go along with her beehive for her desk at college. Thank you so very much for joining me.